Every day she went to the stream, hoping to see the old woman. She would sit under the tree beside the water and cry, pleading for forgiveness. One evening, in the village of Oru, there lived a young girl named Uli, whose beauty was the talk of the entire town. Her skin was as smooth as the polished ebony. Her eyes sparkled like stars, and her smile, oh, her smile was like first light of dawn. Every man, young or old, turned to look at her as she walked by. Women whispered enviously, and little children stared in awe. But Li's beauty, instead of being a blessing, had become her biggest curse. She believed she was above everyone else. She refused to greet the elders, snapping at them when they called out to her. If a young man approached, she would wave him off, scoffing.
What could a man like you ever offer me? You don't even own a goat.
Her mother, Amara, grew worried.
Uli,
Really, pride comes before a fall. Beauty fades, but a kind heart lasts forever.
Mama, don't lecture me. I don't have time for poor, boring people.
One fateful morning, as the sun climbed the sky and the village awoke to its usual bustle, Uli picked up her clay pot to fetch water from the stream. She swayed down the forest path, her every step graceful and confident. Birds sang in the trees, the wind whispered through the leaves, and everything seemed ordinary. Halfway to the stream, Uli spotted an old woman sitting on the side of the path. The woman was hunched over, her clothes tattered, her eyes trembling as she tried to adjust a large bundle of firewood on the ground. Seeing Uli, the old woman called out.
My daughter, please help me lift this bundle onto my head. My back is failing me.
Uli stopped, placed her pot down, and sized the woman up. Then she burst out laughing.
Do you know who I am? Why would someone as beautiful as me touch dirty firewood? Carry it yourself or wait for someone as wretched as you to help.
The old woman stared at Uli with piercing eyes.
Child, beauty is a gift, but it is also a test. Yours is about to become a curse.
Old woman, get out of my way, Uli spat, picking up her pot. She stormed off without another glance. But as she walked, an unsettling chill crawled up her spine for reasons she couldn't explain. She turned to look back, and the old woman was gone. Not walking down the path, not hidden in the bushes. She had simply vanished. The next morning, her mother burst into her room screaming.
Uli, Uli, what happened to you?
Uli jumped up and ran into the mirror. What she saw made her scream in horror. The once flawless, radiant face was now grotesque. She was now looking like a beast. Her skin was rough and scaly, her nose was crooked, and her lips were cracked. She looked like a beast. She locked herself in her room, crying endlessly. Days turned into weeks, and Uli refused to step outside. When she had to, she covered her face with a scarf, but even then people avoided her like a plague. The once adored Uli was now the most ridiculed person in the village. Desperate for answers, her mother took her to the village native doctor. After a long silence, the native doctor said,
The old woman you insulted was no ordinary person. She is a spirit, and she cursed you because of your rudeness. There is no cure unless she chooses to forgive you. Until then, you must change your ways. Be kind, greet people, and respect everyone, whether rich or poor. Only then is there a chance she may appear to you again.
With no other choice, Uli began greeting everyone she saw. She helped the elders, smiled at children, and treated even the poorest villagers with respect. But no one wanted anything to do with her. People whispered,
Isn't that the rude girl who thought she was better than everyone? Look at her now. She looks like a beast.
Still, Oli persevered. Every day she went to the stream, hoping to see the old woman. She would sit under the tree beside the water and cry, pleading for forgiveness. One evening, as the sun dipped low in the sky, casting golden hues over the land, the old woman appeared. She stood silently, watching Uli cry under the tree. Uli looked up and froze.
Please, Mama, forgive me.
She cried, falling to her knees.
I have changed. I greet everyone now. I help people. I know I was wrong. Please forgive me.
The old woman stared at her for a long time before speaking. Do you promise never to go back to your old ways?
Yes, Mama, I promise. I will never be rude again. I will always be kind to everyone.
The old woman sighed and said, I forgive you, but remember, true beauty comes from the heart. With that, she disappeared. Uli ran home, her heart filled with relief, even though her face remained unchanged. She told her mother what had happened and said,
At least she forgave me. That's enough.
The next morning, as the first rays of sunlight touched her face, Uli woke up and looked in the mirror. Her beauty had returned. No, she was even more beautiful than before, but this time her heart matched her appearance. From that day on, Uli was known not just for her beauty, but for her kindness and humility. And whenever she passed by, people didn't just admire her face, they admired her heart.